Hi, welcome back to Talk of the Town. The Heritage Library Foundation is established to promote and preserve ancestry and local history. And in the vein of education, Linda Pickett drops by to share what summer tours will be available at the Heritage Library. Linda, welcome.
Thank you, Sandy.
You guys always have cool stuff going on.
We have some really nice things going on over the summer. We just moved everything outside so we could enjoy the summer.
Fabulous.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about some of the newer things. I think one of them being the Zion tours.
Yes.
Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, at the Zion Cemetery, which is at the corner of 278 Matthews Drive, we're starting living history tours. And so we're going to have people in costume. We're going to have our regular tour, but we're also going to have someone there representing one of the residents of the cemetery.
Wow.
So they can tell their stories, because that cemetery was the planters' cemetery. And the people who are buried there are Revolutionary War militia soldiers and some really interesting colonial period and antebellum period characters that can tell their stories.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yes, it is. And we had a grant from the bargain box to help us buy the costumes and make some of the costumes. So we've got several people lined up that can tell stories on different weeks.
Yeah, that's wonderful, not just for tourists, but for those of us who live here.
Yes,
You know, a lot of history.
It is. We're finding that we're attracting a lot more residents as we get into these tours.
I bet. So tell us a little bit about the Fort Mitchell tours.
Well, Fort Mitchell, we'll have our regular Fort Mitchell tour. Now, the Zion tours are Friday morning at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Fort Mitchell tours are Thursday morning at 10 o'clock. And we'll have our regular tours of Fort Mitchell every week, but we're also going to start in July. We're going to go back to our dinner and tour, partnering with Old Fort Pub.
Oh, very nice.
They do a special 3-course meal for us. So during the meal, between courses, Lou Benfonte, who's our board chair and our history chair, will dress up in his General Mitchell costume. And between courses, he kind of tells the story of the Battle of Port Royal and why the Union came onto the island in the beginning of the Civil War, and talks about that, and then talks a little bit about Fort Mitchell, and then after dinner they take the tour of the fort.
Yeah.
So that's been a very popular program,
I bet.
and we'll be starting that up again in July.
Yeah,
so,
that's really interesting.
yeah, that'll be fun.
And you still have the bike tours.
Our newest project, we just started again. Well, we almost started. We started last week and it rained, so hopefully
It
this
certainly
week,
did.
Yes. So hopefully this week, Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we'll be doing our bike tours up on Squire Pope Road.
Okay.
And we meet at the Squire Pope Community Park, which is the Rowing and Sailing Center, and at 10 o'clock on Wednesdays. And we have tour guides that have done the route and they've learned the history facts, and they visit the Amelia White Cemetery, which is the Gullah Cemetery there next to the Shell Park, and they go into the Shell Park. They go down and look at the Cotton Hope Tabby ruins, talk a bit about John Stoney, who owned the Cotton Hope plantation. They come back to Benny Hudson's, and Tanya is going to watch for them, and she'll just come out and tell them a little bit about the Hudson family on the island and take them down on the dock, and then back to the Rowing and Sailing Center. So it's really a short ride, but a nice ride for families.
Yeah, a lot of information in that short time.
Yes.
So what are some of the unique aspects of history on Hilton Head Island that visitors would enjoy, well, visitors and locals alike would enjoy knowing about?
Well, you know, Hilton Head, the biggest thing that happened on Hilton Head was the Civil War. And there are several Civil War sites that are open to visitors. Even the Hilton Head Plantation, Fort Mitchell, is open all week long, and the plantation allows you in the gates to go to Fort Mitchell, so you can always go there. And then there are just so many sites that you can see around the island and people just don't realize.
No. As you're speaking, there's a lot of things that I wasn't aware of, and I need to try.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I need
many
to find
things,
out about.
so many places now are even getting on the National Register. We're going to have both of our sites
Yeah, that's exciting.
on the register. Yeah. So
very exciting.
yeah, and So there are lots of things to see and do.
Yeah, the summer sounds packed for you, and as new things develop, please stop back by.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Linda. And we'll be right back with Talk of the Town.